This is Console Wars the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now. This is XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/XboxEra, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Headlines, XboxEra's twice-weekly show, though that might be tested a bit in the coming week or so, that covers all of the latest and greatest across the video game industry. In the spirit of the gaming industry, we talk about everything. Today is August 14th, and I'm your host, Bearded John Clark, also known as Ursel, and of course, always producing and always present is Jesse.
I wasn't on Tuesday.
It's about yeah.
And we won't be next week though.
Yeah.
I've got, so as you can see here, my old Keo. I'm gonna bring that with me to Gamescom, as I'm actually on Elgato's new Facecam 4K right now. They just sent it over. So if I look different, that's why. But yeah,
different. Yeah,
I was in LA doing things I can't talk about yet. So other people can't shut the hell up.
Seriously.
It's so goddamn annoying, especially when you sign things, like, just shut up. But yeah, John's in Colorado right now. He may swoop in at some point, and thankfully I do have a third, but he just wants to say hi. He's at a wedding in Colorado, and then he's back just before Gamescom to dye his hair. He's going to dye it jet black on the bottom. He's dying
before Gamescom?
Oh yeah, no, because that was part of the incentive. So his mohawk is going to be jet black into neon green from the missus. And yeah, then next week, I'm flying out Monday, landing Tuesday, because of time zone differences. Even though I leave Monday morning, I'll be in Cologne early Tuesday after hopping up, going across to Frankfurt, and taking a train to Cologne. John will be joining me later that day, and so no headlines next week, but we might try and do like evening streams here and there, depending on what we can.
I think those would be appreciated.
Yeah. It's just tough because we are extremely full and then have dinners. And then there's also the main thing people go there for, which is the networking. Like, the networking's a huge aspect of going to these things. And so if we just immediately go back to the Airbnb, it might end up being detrimental to the future of the site, because if there's one thing we've learned, it's how unbelievably important networking is. And the more people you know, the better. Because knowing people is absolutely everything. But yeah.
It literally is. Yeah. Yeah, and you guys all have embargoes too, I'm guessing, on a lot of the stuff
some
you play,
do,
so.
some don't. Like, I've already gotten some that are like, yep, you can talk about it at this point. Others are just, when it's a public demo, there isn't one. Like, this is also on the show floor. There's no demo because people are literally freaking playing it. But yeah, for some of the behind doors stuff that we get, that's in the business section that you and Nick were kind of locked out of last year, and I still feel bad. Those ones generally will have an embargo. But we'll get what we can when we can. I would put my laptop over there to good use in LA, and I will have it.
What are you bringing with you this time?
I think I'm just bringing laptop, camera. John can bring a mic. That's about it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna bring. I didn't end up using, like, I brought even the Lenovo Legion Go gaming tablet I have, and
yeah,
barely touched it while I was in. Last year, I only used it when I was trying to play Star Wars Outlaws. That's a pretty tough game for that. And then I brought it to LA with me, and I never used it once. I'm like,
dude, you never get a chance to, man. You're just busy, and you get back to the hotel, you're tired and exhausted. Like,
I wish Clockwork Evolution, Ray. I wish.
God. If only.
Like, that is probably my most anticipated game out of everything. But no.
Mine still has to be Fable. I just can't wait, man.
Yeah. Ugh. According to Nick, you might have to.
F that.
Yeah. Well, it's just also the fact that they have, and it's a weird thing because people across the industry keep treating it like they don't, because they're mad at Microsoft, and we'll get into why later, and they're right to be mad at them.
Yeah.
But as far as the division, there's nobody doing more than Xbox right now, and that's just going to keep going through next year. So if Fable needs more time, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, except maybe the Division 2 that keeps releasing updates. But,
yeah, they literally... Is that in there? It is. We'll talk about that
I think
in a minute.
it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love it.
But okay, all right. Continuing on, as a bonus for our wonderful patrons, we made an audio version of these episodes available for them via Patreon or the preferred podcast app. If you want to become one of these patron legends, simply head over to patreon.com/XboxEra. I don't got to use the word / because it's not 2005 anymore. Really quick, this is not my usual setup. As you can tell, I'm actually in California. I'm visiting my sister in San Jose area in Fremont. I totally forgot about the time zone difference. This is my first morning here. So when Jesse messaged me like 15 minutes ago, hey, we're going live soon, I'm like, holy crap. I found a little corner in the house, but my sister's taking her kids to school right now, so it might get a little loud. I'll mute as needed. But without further ado, let's jump right in to a pretty exciting first bit of news. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox. We knew that. We've essentially willed it into existence. I say we, but even though I wasn't the highest in the game, but still. In their launch trailer for the Xbox release,
Wing the Boom.
Very ending. Yeah, great song choice, definitely. At the very ending, they tease New Mombasa and very clearly ODSTs, which is like a match made in heaven. Like, it's just common sense. But it's coming, and people are really excited about it.
Helldivers 2 is a really fun game if you have at least one friend. It's better, obviously, if you got two, and you got like a group of 4 people to play. But even if you just have one person, the game goes from being okay to being great. So I'm quite excited to see it get an influx of new players, especially players who are used to this type of game, this type of shooting, and like, this feels like a game that is going to do well on the platform. A platform, by the way, which I didn't put it in there, but there was an analytics firm that looked at it and said Xbox and PlayStation players' spending habits are almost the exact same.
Yes, that was really interesting.
Yeah, like
it goes against everything people have been saying.
It's because most of the evidence like against the Xbox platform and Game Pass is generally just feelings based and nothing else, and that's so much of the coverage in games is just feelings based. It's not evidence based. Like, the Matt Piscatellas of the world who actually go out there and know stuff. They're few and far between, where everyone else is like us, and it's just, what do your friends think? And like you'll get the one thing that always kills me is this Steam chart discourse. How people are all about Steam charts and talking about them, yet they never talk about the top 20 games on Steam. They don't talk about PUBG having 700,000 players now.
You're right. It's
they don't talk
how
about Counter-Strike. They don't talk about the fact that like none of the games you're talking about ever really stick on the most played. No one's talking about peak. No one's talking about Schedule 1. Like, in the industry, it's always this very specific subset of games from a specific subset of publishers that do fine. But, oh, he closed it. I am Ganesh. Oh, well, actually, wait, I only have 2 arms. Woo! Let's wait for Ursel to see if he shows back up. Hey! Don't hear you.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
But it's a really weird industry, and getting some stuff like this where Helldivers 2 comes to Xbox, has an immediate collaboration, it seems pretty goddamn obviously, with ODST, which really fits the entire motif of what Helldivers was.
Like, even in the trailer, like when they drop, it almost feels like it's like meant to be like, hey, these are ODSTs dropping.
Yeah, you know? They just showed at the very end as this music that I'm playing hits. That it's just literally a drop pod coming down in a city that looks all beat up like New Mombasa. Like, yeah, it's perfect. And people are shocked that Sony's doing this. And when I remember talking with Mort about it a lot, and he says, once they do it, I'll believe it. I'm like, man, they've been talking for years about how they want to build up their monthly active users. They can't do that on their own platform. They can do that on PC, they can do that on Switch, and they can do that on Xbox. Because like the Switch audience isn't their audience. It's the Switch. That's always the hardest thing, I think, for a lot of third parties, is that the Switch audience is there for Nintendo games, first and foremost. That is what they want, and they are the unicorn in that way. Whereas PlayStation players are there for everything, including PlayStation first party, and Xbox players are there for everything, including Xbox first party a little more, because they know it's all in Game Pass. Like, they all have different dynamics, where Microsoft has this subscription where everything they put out goes in, even if it's a little delayed, like that Warcraft 1 and 2 remaster that the guy kept yelling at us about in chat. But PlayStation just put Spider-Man, the 2018 one, back into PlayStation Plus. It'll probably be there for, what, 6 months? But it normally is. Again. Yeah, like they are the default third-party platform. That is their strength. Their strength is not their first party. Their first party is additive to try and pull the hardcore in more and more. But yeah, the future of gaming is you need your shit everywhere. Because I didn't put in the Sean Layden quotes because they're just so typical. Oh God, that was just. But like he's like, every generation game should have cost more. It's like, no, you should stop spending more. You need to control your budgets. You don't just like every generation the cost onto us. Yeah,
you don't need to freaking increase the cost every time your profits are going up. Like, come on.
But it's essentially, he wants to treat it like it's a tariff. Their costs go up, so we pay more, even though they can just not spend as much. And still put out things like most of the biggest games out there don't have insane budgets. And hell, PUBG, we see PUBG on Steam as still being huge. But like it's bigger on mobile, especially in countries like India. Like it's just one of the biggest things out there because everyone has an Android phone and they can just play it. But it's,
and a lot of people there just don't play on PC or console or anything. They still play
expensive.
Games, but
like the shit's super costly. It's not going down. It's only going up.
Like, let's say like India, for example, right? Like people say phones are expensive. Well, if you go to India, you'll realize a lot of the phones they use aren't like the latest iPhones or the Samsung. They have their own, not necessarily their own brands, but brands like made for them, which are prices that are affordable and are regionalized.
Yep.
Right. And then you show consoles show up and suddenly consoles are like $1,000 for them. And it's like, I'm not.
Yeah. In some of these places, a console is like 2 months of wages. Like it's insane how much it can be for the average person.
Yeah. And then throw in each game costing $100 and it's like, no, it's just not affordable.
Yeah. Because then that's why you will see something like damn near anything that is worth the return on investment is going to be looked at for going to every platform from every major publisher outside of Nintendo and Valve.
Yep.
Who will, if there was a Half-Life 3, I bet you it would eventually go everywhere. But unlike Alex, it's not a thing trying to sell $1,000 product. Like, it is a thing that they will eventually, like, they put everything else out everywhere for the most part, except for Dota, because that just doesn't work on a controller in the way everything is set up on consoles. But
yeah, no. Though interestingly, League of Legends just is adding WASD movement, which might be a prereq.
You know what's insane? Saber just announced another game. It's not big.
Wait,
it's Saber Interactive announces Docked, a realistic port management simulator. I'm guessing it's built off of like it's built off the Mudrunner stuff. Because there was a lot of docking controls in the last one I did, Roadcraft. They are very smart with that. Like, they build up all these systems for Roadcraft, bam, throw it in another game. But yeah, Helldivers 2, real fun. Out on the 26th, we will not have a review, most likely. I can't get in contact with PlayStation to get a code for Xbox. I don't think... John could throw one together real quick, but it would just be PC. If people are okay
imagine
with
you
that.
guys might do like a couple streams playing the game or something, right?
Yeah, if we ever get a code for it, I don't know that we would.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I own it on PC. John owns it on PC. We could get a review of the game out. It would just be PC footage if people don't want to yell at us.
Yeah. It is interesting that, really quick on Helldivers 2, that at the same time we're getting this collab with Halo, we're also getting the Fortnite collab with Halo. And this is kind of leading up, I feel, into the October announcement. I don't know. Like, in the Halo community, things are feeling pretty hype right now, especially after like they released a pretty beefy update.
It's gonna be so goddamn funny when people like we've had Riskit in the chat saying if Halo ever went to PlayStation, it's the end.
Oh God.
I'm like, the people that play Halo every day are desperate to get more players, and they would be so happy if Halo Infinite went to PlayStation.
Like,
and
I'm telling you, if they announced it at Worlds, the crowd would cheer. They would cheer.
You'll find matches 10 times quicker. Yay!
Whoa.
Like, yeah, people would.
All right.
It would be this.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to a topic I vaguely understand, even though I'm kind of in the tech field. The Xbox app for Windows on ARM will soon let you download games. This is from Tom Warren in The Verge. So I would just quickly read over what he says. He says, currently the Xbox app on games like Qualcomm-powered like Surface Pros, that kind of stuff, only let you play cloud games for Microsoft's thing. This new update, this new Xbox update will mean some ARM64 games from PC Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate will be available on Qualcomm-powered devices for the first time. Oh, I get it. That's big.
Yeah, that's kind of like the translation layer stuff on Steam to get native Windows apps running on ARM and all that. So this is the type of thing that could mean my Steam Deck would be able to play Game Pass games that have this, most likely. Because right now they're UWP. So, and even though that's not like what it used to be, none of your Game Pass apps will work on a Steam Deck.
Not without installing Windows.
Yeah, you have to go with a Windows install and dual boot, and it's a pain in the butt. The drivers are okay, but it's not something the average person is going to do. The average person is always going to go path of least resistance. Even just adding in other storefronts is a pain in the ass, even though they mostly work. So yeah, if they can get this type of stuff working and any type of direct functionality in as many different places as they want, that is their main goal. Like they like selling hardware when they're not losing money on it. But if hardware is there, they want a way for their storefront to exist. So I am not shocked.
If you've seen like the top played games on Steam Deck, or I'm assuming like ROG Ally as well, a lot of them, if not most of them, are smaller games. Games that aren't big, giant AAA games. Games like Vampire Survivors was #1 forever. Yeah. No, what I mean is like getting these kind of games working on, let's say, a Surface that people have, right? Or other like
you keep talking
Qualcomm devices. Yeah, you're gonna those games. Oh my god, I gotta vamp. I'm not vamping. I'm talking. Those games that release, the games that really matter aren't necessarily the AAA games. So what makes this, I think, more exciting is if they can get games working without the developer putting in more effort, stuff like Vampire Survivors, things like that, just on the devices you already have. It's a pretty big deal. I do play AAA games on my ROG Ally as well. But also, really quick, I just opened up chat now, and I just saw Trav mentioned For All Mankind. Yes, it is a really good show. I haven't seen season 2 yet, but season 1 was incredible. Yeah.
I got a delivery. I don't know how much I can show that, but there you go. Oop. All right. That doesn't come out till next month, so keep an eye out. I'm excited.
Interesting.
Whoop. Ursul's frozen.
Am I still there?
Yeah, you're back.
God dang it.
But yes, look,
Okay, all right.
So pretty. Please don't yell at me, Turtle Beach. It showed up. I wasn't expecting this until next month. I'm very excited. This is the one that you can pop out and use different modules. God, it's been a while since I got to cover a controller. The last one I did was the Scuff Valor Pro, which is amazing. This is a fantastic wired controller, but it is wired only. I think that one isn't. Yeah, I am excited.
Okay, sorry about that. I talked about chat, and then my browser's turned black screen. So I'm going to turn.
I've been having weird problems like that today.
Pretty beefy. Well, it's not beefy, but right. I don't know what the heck. I'll have chat on my phone instead. All right, I'll still see you guys. Speaking of, I think we had a super chat, or I saw like a color when I went.
Oh yeah, we did. We did earlier. It was from good old Collingwood. Best of luck in Cologne. Have fun and eat lots. Thank you very much. The travel's going to suck. Just going in 5 hours, or it was like 4.5 hours in the plane to LA sucked. So going 7 hours from Boston to Frankfurt, or it's like 7.5, is going to really suck. It's not as bad as the 10 last year from Tampa to London. But yeah. At
least the seats should be more comfortable because it's designed for that. Like when you fly domestic for 5 hours, like that's as far as it freaking goes.
I would say that, right? But I'm using some service called Condor, and I'm not expecting them to be any good.
From America to
America to Germany. They're part. I think they own JetBlue or JetBlue. They're like part of something else. I forget what the whole setup is, or it's a Lufthansa. I can't remember. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Now, please. I'm a large person, so it doesn't help.
Yeah, 100%. That makes things really difficult sometimes. But is what it is.
You would know you're tiny.
I would not know, not at all. In fact, sometimes even. I actually have it pretty nice. I have I can stretch my legs out even in small planes like Spirit. Like as long
John's
as
like dancing in the aisles because he's so tiny, and I'm like, $5 super chat from Mohammed Shrez. Ursel, looking forward to review the new SpongeBob game.
SpongeBob game.
Yeah, they just announced it at that THQ showcase.
Yeah, I did see that. Unless it's a remake of like that one random movie making game I played to death as a kid, I doubt I'm playing many SpongeBob games.
This is different.
Okay. Next up, Blizzard's story and franchise development workers from latest video game union.
I wrote Blizzard. Fixed.
Oh, you?
I put Blizzard story and franchise.
So basically, another union is forming, right? A Blizzard.
Yep. Yeah. Yet another one. This one. Was it yesterday this happened? I forget. I was very quickly throwing together the showrunner for today. So
yeah, no worries. Sorry.
And he mentioned it because you did review a SpongeBob game, and so I brought it up. So it was a couple days ago.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I vaguely
Bucky
remember
Fisk.
that. Yeah, this is a couple days ago. Yeah.
We got a quote from Bucky Fisk, a principal editor and member of organizing committee. After more than a decade, his name's Bucky. Maybe it doesn't sound like that. We'll go.
After more than a decade of working at Blizzard, I've seen all the highs and lows. For years, Blizzard had been a place where people could build their careers and stay for decades. But that stability's been fading. With a union, we're able to preserve what makes this place special, secure real transparency in how decisions are made, and make sure policies are applied fairly to everyone, because you are not prepared.
He didn't say the last part. That was just Illidan. But yeah, there's been a lot of union organizations within pretty much every part of Microsoft gaming, which is good. You really need it in America.
It's what happened that we wanted to happen, right? Which is like with ZeniMax and Ravensoft. The floodgates kind of opened.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people saying it doesn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it didn't, or maybe it wouldn't, but it did. If you look through the page, they talk about something which I think is really important, which is the SFD team, which is like their in-house cinematics and animation. And we know Blizzard makes like some of the best cinematics ever. We also know that in general, people in cinematics and animation are overworked and underpaid.
Yep.
Like just across the industry. So that team being part of this unionization effort is a pretty big deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it says that are they the first? Will be the first in-house cinematic animation and narrative studio to form a union in gaming. I'm like, yep, because pretty much From what I've seen on others, especially if you're like at Amazon, they don't like unions very much. Whereas Microsoft was very neutral. Not to say they were great or good or terrible, but they were neutral, and it took years to get like the first contract. But I know people were like, they're not arguing in good faith. It was like, no, that's not what companies do. They don't negotiate in like good faith. They negotiate to try and get the best deal for them. That is business, as shitty as it is.
Yep, 100%. I mean, unions, again, are there not some kind of silver bullet? I'm sure everyone in chat that's more than 15 years old knows, right?
Yeah.
It's not like this magic word, like, oh, things are better now. But it does give a voice to people that might not have had a voice before.
And it generally gets you better compensation when things are going to go bad, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like that is one of the best.
100%.
And you get better compensation generally while you're there. That was a big part of the negotiations on the ones that they recently signed, where we're going to finally give you raises and I'll do all this shit. Because it's been weird talking with some people in the industry, and you say, how much has changed since you were purchased by Microsoft? And they're like, nothing's changed. Like I was talking to people this week that would be in the know, and I was like, hey, have you heard anything? Like, what happens when these giant companies buy companies? And they said pretty much with Microsoft, nothing changed. Like most of those changes end up being at the very high levels, but the day to day, they trust them to run themselves. Like, because I do think that's one of the main things we always miss. Not us so much, but a lot of people miss is that every single developer is its own company within Microsoft that has to manage itself. They don't want to, they're too big to micromanage. Like they are just flat out way too large to have, like Matt Booty is not on the phone with every developer every day saying, okay, what's this team up to now? It's like, I come in a couple times a year because I've got 20 or 30 of you to manage. I can't be there all the time. So having unions like this definitely also helps with just the simple fact that most people can't remember everything. And when you have people fighting for you, they will remind the people up above that you are important and that you wanted this and that these things matter. So unions are...
Sometimes just existing is enough, right? For them not to screw you over as an afterthought. What's really interesting is when the unions first started coming, and they were generally just QA, who definitely need it, right? But at the same time, I think people could have gone like, oh, well, it's just QA, right? Like, that's not like the main group. This is now another step forward where even the more permanent employees, even the more, I don't want to say impactful, because QA is still super duper important, but you know what I mean, right? Like the professionals.
Yeah, the more like sought after ones that are generally the skilled labor, even though everyone has their own set of skills they bring. You know how companies look
I mean,
at
it makes sense. QA is often used as an entry point, right? That being said, I think some people sometimes lump like the entirety of QA is just, oh, I'm just playing games testing, and they don't take into consideration like the engineers involved and the bug fixing and all that stuff. Like, well, whatever. Either way, this is good news going forward. And I hope it's something that spreads throughout the industry.
What also is good news, I think, is our next story, even though it's tied to some of the worst news on the planet right now. You muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I was, yes, on purpose. So this is something, honestly, that made me really happy to see. I'll read the title first if you guys hadn't seen it, but, quote, Microsoft has no place being accomplice of a genocide. Arkane union workers demand Xbox maker severs ties with Israel. This is something that we've discussed about internally too, here and there, because like, a lot of people are bringing up the fact that Microsoft is way more involved in this than they should be regarding their cloud usage and some of their surveillance software and things like that. And this is, I guess, a polarized subject, even though at this point it really shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
at this
everything political is. And some people are like, why are you talking about politics and gaming? So, well, it's a news show. And I don't know of anything more in the news than what's been going on for a while. So,
and okay, I've seen some people take this the opposite way and straight up just virtue signal, like, we're not going to cover anything Xbox or Microsoft. We can't do that. We're not going to do that for obvious reasons.
Yeah. But I fully respect anyone that acts that way. Like, there are places and spots where it's very obviously places that are famous for virtue signaling. It's not something that happens.
That's
often,
what I mean.
But it is something that can happen. But it's very much a situation where if you don't want to cover any of this platform because of this company, I get it, fully respect it.
Yep.
And I don't need the whataboutism because I know Sony has a chip manufacturer that works in Israel. It's still you want to boycott them too. Cool. You don't it sucks. The whole situation sucks. And when people are so entrenched into a platform, both we are as for when it comes to the coverage, and so many people in the community are when it comes to their purchases. Like, they've spent so much money on this platform, it's nearly impossible for them to change, but that doesn't mean you have to downplay anything. And I think having one of their
100%.
own unions call this out and having people put more and more pressure, because that is the only thing that will change it. Because right now, both every company in this country is feeling more and more pressure from this administration to get in line in a way we haven't had as publicly in the past. And people keep thinking, oh, it's never been this bad. It's like,
Yeah,
it's been pretty
it's
bad.
kind of crazy how
Yeah.
blatant some things are.
Mhm.
But yeah, in general, this isn't the first time Microsoft employees or even tangent Microsoft employees have pushed back against their involvement. We regularly see engineers and things like that, who, by the way, have decent jobs already lined up, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
when they go and do something that they know is going to get them fired, right? But they want to do something, they want to make a difference. It's great to see Arkane do this, especially a unionized group who can't just be like, oh, okay, you're all done.
Mhm. Yep. When you got some
yeah,
protections, and that's another reason why it is good to have a union and to have those protections, so that you can speak truth to power without as much worry. Like, it's not like this is a we don't
Yeah.
have to worry at all situation. It's
Let
this
me-
is so
let me
bad
read-
that it's just worth it. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me read their paragraph really quick, just so in the open letter. That say, we think that Microsoft has no place being accomplice of a genocide, and as Microsoft employees, we don't want to be part of this sinister project for Gaza. Moreover, we think it's our responsibility as tech workers to raise the alarm and to ensure that our technologies are used to make the voices of the oppressed heard and not facilitate their demise. In a more direct manner, we think this could very well affect our life directly by reducing the audience for our games, thus directly compromising the viability of Xbox games and, in the long run, our own very jobs. I don't know about the last one in terms of, like, I think not enough people just don't care. You know what I mean?
And most people have no idea. They don't know what's going on in most of
Yeah.
the world, and they don't know that a game is made by Microsoft. They're not going to look at Minecraft and be like, oh, shit, I'm not going to use that anymore. Like, we're still a small bubble, and if you lose a small bubble, it's bad. But it mostly just has to be, you have to be loud and annoying to people who actually care at some point. And it's tough because business people's best attribute for business is the soullessness.
money.
Like,
Yeah,
say
yeah.
what you want. When I talk to people about Bobby Kotick, they're like, he was an excellent businessman. He always got the best for his business, and he was a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like, those were the things I was told. Where it's like,
That's why
yeah.
stuff like this is so important, because it's got to start hitting like them financially, really, for it to make a difference. Like, if enough people boycott, or if enough people, not necessarily boycott, honestly, but boycotting, I think, rarely works unless it's like crystal clear. But either way, if enough people inside the industry start pushing back, or there's, like, for example, even though this is wildly different, that internal change on Xbox Live Gold, remember that, when like they essentially removed the year price,
People
and it
lost
turns
their
out that
shit.
there was a ton of pushback internally too
Yeah.
about that, and that's what really led to the change being reversed.
Mhm.
This is something similar. Like, mad respect to any of these guys, because it is always, I'm not gonna lie, it is always like this weird bridge to walk on when you talk about stuff like this, because especially in American politics, where Israel has been essentially our best ally for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So any kind of critique of them is suddenly, whoa, what are you doing? Right? Even when there's clear video, audio, journalistic evidence.
They
like,
tie a government organization into an entire religion when it's
yes,
not that.
yes.
Like,
not at
being
all.
upset with what's going on in Gaza has nothing to do with personal feelings about Jewish people. But that is
Not even remotely.
That's always the rub, and that's what makes it so, I think, something people avoid so much, because, like, I know people in Hollywood that completely lose their careers simply for talking up about this. Like, it just...
Yeah, exactly.
sucks.
That's why I do really respect people that show up. I mean, even though it's like such a small thing to do, like putting a pin on, like Troy Baker did that one time. At the same time, it is essentially almost like a career-ending move, potentially, depending on how big you are and things like that.
Yeah, like
So,
Javier
I do
Bardem and Penelope Cruz get.
Yeah,
just
or
right down.
Melissa, I forget her name, the stream actress, who literally got
Barrera.
removed from the next screen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's rough. And it's one of those things where it's hard. You can't avoid politics all the time in this hobby. This hobby is actually unbelievably political. Art is almost always political. Just because some people either choose to or can't get the subtext, like it's there, it's always there.
Yeah.
Even if the executives at Ubisoft do their best to kick it away, it was still there from the developers who were actually making it.
Exactly.
And I think the people who care there's way more of them than the people who don't. But the people who don't are a lot louder in general.
I agree. Yeah. But anyways, this is a good thing to see. Hopefully more of this, especially as things continue to escalate, and it reaches a point where like you standing silent is no longer really an option.
Yeah, I think we've been past that point for a while. But people are still like, it's getting untenable. It's like, it's been untenable. It's really bad. And even if Microsoft is just giving them cloud storage space, the stuff being stored on there is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, moving on.
Speaking of horror.
Right, straight up. From our great friends at Insider Gaming, Resident Evil Requiem will have Last of Us combat and vehicles. They also say that this was confirmed, right? We're going to be seeing this next week, August.
And it's
19th.
weird. No, whatever you call it, like booth appointments. It's just a booth, and they said, "Hey, come by, please." Because I got messages from Capcom, and they're like, "Yeah, just come by our booth. It's just a public booth." So I'm sure the bigger sites and stuff probably got invites, but we did not.
And of course, it's Dust Golem doing the leaks again. I swear, he's got to be a Capcom employee, right? Like,
no, he's got to be a friend with multiple Capcom employees. But we got to do that theater presentation where we got to see the horror side of Resident Evil. And they keep trying to say it's not a Leon game, but it's because it's both a Leon and this lady game where her sections are less combat, more survival. They're like survival horror. And then Leon's are more action-focused in there. Because originally Resident Evil 9 was like some big open world thing. And that completely changed. They got rid of it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was in large part because of how awful the RE engine is at open world. But it's still going to be larger levels with some vehicle stuff. Like it's going to be very different, and you're going to hop between the two. Both can be in first or third person, though I think Leon would probably work best in third, like with Remake. I'm quite looking forward to it. Like this looked good, though her breathing
and her giant footsteps,
and her Master Chief level stomping footsteps. It was louder than the Doom guy, the Doom Slayer this year. It was insane how loud her footsteps were.
I legit thought it was the monster sneaking up on her. I'm like, why is she not doing anything? We can hear it so clearly.
Yeah. So myself, John, and Ursel went to Summer Games Fest. Drake and myself, John, and Predrag, our art guy, are going to Gamescom this year.
Predrag is essentially the soul of XboxEra. Really, I hope he actually gets to do some stuff.
I've gotten him I have gotten him many appointments, and that means he has to talk about them. So I will force him on
Exactly. I want to see him on. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Requiem's releasing February, right? The date
I think that was it. Yeah. They haven't given Onimusha one, so it's probably later in the year, which is weird because Onimusha is the one that they played live while there instead of a video like Resident Evil. But yeah,
and they announced Onimusha a while back, didn't they?
And Onimusha looked amazing. I am so goddamn excited for that one. And if John tries to steal a review on it, I will say nope. I'll make you do Resident Evil instead, you baby. But no, actually, I won't do Resident Evil anyways. I like doing all of them.
Resident Evil's had vehicles before, right? Like with 6? I can't remember.
6 was the big action one, so it might have there.
Exactly. It might have, right? Like a section.
Yeah, I don't remember. I played through a lot of 6 a long time ago. I don't remember it at all. Other than it was kind of fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this whole city, the Raccoon City with the nuke and everything, like the whole game I think was supposed to be a giant open world thing originally, and they completely redid it, which is why it's taken so long. Because they had a pretty steady cadence on Resident Evil releases. And generally, like, this would have been last year, but now instead it's going to be next year.
Yeah, so, you're right. That's a couple years.
Yeah.
And we're way past the whole COVID bump. At this
Yeah, because
point,
they're
right?
also on a couple of remakes, like Code Veronica and Year Zero, I think, were the rumors on that one. Again, from Dusk Golem, who is generally almost always right with Capcom stuff. So
yeah,
you can take that to the bank.
They definitely want to find this guy.
He is the Tom Henderson to their Ubisoft.
That makes sense.
Speaking of Ubisoft.
Speaking of Ubisoft, and what we talked about a little earlier, Division 2 is still alive and getting more content.
It has so many players, especially after winning Game Pass, man.
Yeah, it's going to get a big Division 2 project that's going to be revealed next week. Speaking of Insider Gaming and Ubisoft as well.
Of course it was him. But they're just reporting a tweet. It was literally a tweet. It's not inside.
Yes, to be fair. And they Ubisoft themselves literally confirmed it, that they're going to show what's happening next for Division 2 at Gamescom. Oh no, might be decently packed.
Yeah, it's got Ninja Gaiden 4 as well. They just said today.
Nice. And I don't know if it's rumor or not, but there's leaks that Lords of the Fallen 2.
Oh, not even leaks. They literally just said we'll be there.
Okay, they did, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm never really sure.
Yeah. So it comes out, people put it as a leak because they didn't explicitly say it, and then they just said it. Like they hinted, we'll be there too.
This laptop is clearly not as powerful as I thought it was. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but I wanted to try and get a stream with me and Nick. A live stream while these guys are obviously at the event and are not able to.
I think it's a horrible time for Nick, though.
It is, right?
Europe is about as bad as it gets for John, or between Nick and that's why it's so hard to do the podcast, because they are almost polar opposites. So it would be like
either way,
4 a.m. for him.
Everything will be discussed in the podcast that happens afterwards, anyways.
What podcast?
But okay, did they actually give the one on Saturday?
What Saturday podcast?
Not this Saturday, the one out. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, the 23rd is the one we're going to miss. But
oh my God,
John and I are probably going to do a big headlines on Monday, the 25th, I think it is.
Yeah.
Then come back, do another headlines on Thursday, and then have the big return from Gamescom podcast on the 30th. This weekend's podcast is a special birthday podcast. My birthday. It will be literally my birthday that
It's on the birthday.
Yep.
Nice.
Normally I don't give a shit, but it's like, hey, it's literally the 16th.
Yeah.
So why not? Yeah. So I'll get that scheduled later. Nick's going to make up a thumbnail for it, because there hasn't been any huge news this week. So.
Okay, moving on. Nexon still makes video games. Yes, they don't just make the MMO slop. They showed off a gorgeous new Unreal Engine 5 title, Woochi the Wayfarer, coming to all platforms except Switch for now. I have not seen this trailer, but looking at the images, this looks pretty interesting.
It's super pretty, all steeped in
I did see this trailer.
Korean mythology.
Yes.
Lots of... Man, that area is really into bird people. Because there was a lot of this in Wuchang, which obviously is Fallen Feathers and all about birds.
Yep.
So this is like a teaser vibes trailer with a lady chanting and bringing her into a fire, and then everything goes to shit, and she turns into a weird bird monster, and it's really pretty. But there's no date given, there's no gameplay, nothing like that. It feels like this one's probably pretty far out. Like I wouldn't even expect
a while.
I wouldn't expect next year. I think this is just like a, hey, we've got this thing and we want to show it off now that it's maybe somewhat close, but they didn't even say like next year. So, but in some of the things that look like they might be gameplay, it's very pretty at what it could look like.
Yeah. I just beat Wuchang like a couple of days ago, like right before my flight. It was to the wire. I am very glad you gave me the hint what to do and not get that bad ending, because I looked it up after. Wow, that ending sucks. Like that is one of the worst endings I've seen to a video game ever.
Well, worse for your character if it's what you get.
Yes,
but it's also the reason why everything happened to you in the way it did, because you're going through loops,
causality and things like that. Very interesting.
Yeah,
very
it's
interesting.
really good. And they killed a bunch of Ming Dynasty people, and Chinese nationalists got real mad, and so they've gone back and unkilled them.
What the heck? It's crazy.
It's as advanced in great in so many ways as China is. It still has some issues.
Yeah.
So
and this is based off of like their fans essentially throwing a fit.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna treat it that if I play a new game plus, it's like the world has changed a little bit from my previous causality. You know what I mean? But whatever. It's crazy. Really quick on Woochi. What's going to be interesting is that according to the Nexon Games CEO, it will provide a fresh and unique play experience that's based on traditional Korean materials. while having an emotional resonance anyone around the world can relate to. One thing I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize when we play East Asian games is there is so much difference in culture and history and everything between Japanese, China, Korea, Vietnam, Laos, everything there. It's massively different. So having games really diving into their own mythos and their own culture is nice. It's a good breath of fresh air. Like I played Wuchang, for example, right? And it is different, significantly different from other Souls-like games or Neo or even Wo Long, right? Which is technically set in China, but made by Japanese developers. Oh my
and
God, John.
an even older history. So
yeah, exactly.
but speaking of someone who's a bit of a wayfarer, it's the John C. Kamika Nico Clark in Colorado, USA. Be really funny.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, damn. I was hoping you'd be muted. It'd be funny.
Right?
How's the audio?
It's actually all right.
It's fine. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd pop in because I said I wouldn't be working this week, but I couldn't resist coming to say hello because I miss you all. But I also had to share, and I'm a bit nervous because I don't want to drop my phone into this lake, but this is where I am right now. And
someone will immediately dox you and send a missile there.
Colorado is pretty.
Wow, that looks great.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm about 9,000 feet up right now, and later on today, I'm going up to about 12,000. And it's cool. It is gorgeously warm, even though it's up high. And yeah, I am loving this right now. I got to enjoy deep fried turkey yesterday, an American delicacy for which deserves all of the kind of praise and plaudits. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing good.
We're all right.
That's pretty much it.
I got a thing I wasn't expecting till next month that I probably shouldn't show off, but they didn't give me any embargo details, so I'm excited.
What have you got?
That looks really
It was a
cool.
controller.
You going up for a couple hikes then, John, I'm guessing?
I'm here until Saturday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, we got a $2 super chat from Sherez. He says, "Hello, John."
Hello. But anyway, I'll let you guys crack on with the news. A big thank you to Ursel for hopping in my place, to Cengus for smashing the news while me and Jesse have been traveling, and obviously to Jesse for going to see cool stuff that he'll talk about, I'm sure, soon enough.
And I did news.
All on Gamescom next week. Miss you lots. See you soon.
Damn.
See you, man.
Bye, John.
Take it easy.
Bye.
There's the vape. Bill's in his other hand. Okay.
Oh, of course. Ooh, I got that.
But yeah,
smooth.
Woochi
We
looks
never
really
looked bad.
cool. Getting more Korean culture is great, especially after they just released.
And I doubt it'd be a Souls. Like they normally just say it outright, like Wuchang did. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more actiony, like that Phantom Blade Zero. Just hopefully less. Press all your coolest moves are just tied to pressing triangle a bunch. Because every time when I looked at that 20-minute thing, I'm like, this looks pretty cool. It doesn't look tight, but it's more actiony, so that's fine because it's not stamina and like a fighting game almost.
I mean, I've heard from people who have played that who liked it, but
but I just when a giant triangle appears on their head for every cool move, and that's all you're doing, just hitting triangle a bunch. It's like not as good for me.
I agree.
But it looks good otherwise.
But yeah, Woochi made by Nexon, which is nice. If anyone has played old MMOs like friggin' Maple Story, things like that, which is still getting content updates, kind of crazy. Nexon is not known for releasing big quality AAA games. So it is a nice change of pace.
They've been making money.
Yeah, they have. And if you're in the mood for more Korean culture, check out, and this is not an ad, K-Pop Demon Hunters on Netflix, because it is genuinely a fantastic movie if you have not seen it.
You're going to be shocked.
Do not get turned off by the title.
Trav hated it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's like the most old man you could imagine. We watched it. It was fun. Very catchy.
I really enjoyed it. It was like a good Disney movie.
Those are rare.
Right, exactly. Next one coming up. Hey, Jesse, this was the news that you did.
So yeah, I can give the backstory on this, which is
go ahead.
PR from Raccoon Logic just reached out and say, hey, you guys want an exclusive? And so we were the only website to get this to report that there is a 40 and 60 FPS modes coming to Revenge of the Savage Planet on Xbox Series X, as well as a photo mode coming to every version of the game. I'm going to guess 40 and 60 is probably on PlayStation as well. being an Xbox site, they didn't bother saying that, but yeah. They reached out, said, hey, do you want to port on this? And I was in my hotel room, half asleep, and said, sure. And I wrote it up and got it all out. Revenge of the Savage Planet's a really good solo and great co-op game. Third-person platforming shooting, ridiculously dumb cutscene, fun time. And I reviewed it on PC, so I was getting like 120 FPS locked. But it was only 30 on console, and I had no idea. So I even said in the review, I have no idea what this is going to be like on console, but the game is fun. And then it came out and it was only 30 and people were sad. But now, if you got that 120 hertz display, you can do the 40, which I think doesn't really lose much of the graphical fidelity, but should feel better. Because people always wonder, why do you need 120? It's because it divides evenly, which makes the frame pacing and timing work right without tearing and having issues and stuff. Or you can just go for the full 60. Give up some of those pretty graphics, but get much smoother gameplay. And it's really fun. It's still on Game Pass. It's not Play Anywhere. From what I remember, I don't know if saves transfer, because it doesn't always mean saves won't work. It just means it's not cross-buy. At the very least, sometimes your saves will still work, like with Wuchang, which also is not Play Anywhere, but saves do jump across. But they're both on Game Pass in both. And I highly recommend it. It's really fun. And not overly long.
I need to give it a shot.
Yeah, I think I beat it in 7 or 8 hours. But you can get like 12 to 15 if you want to 100% it. But I couldn't give two shits about that.
This game came out, it's been a little bit, right? Or was it this year?
A few months. Yeah, it was this year. It was like a few months old. Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what? I always mix it up with other games. This is a sequel, right? Of a different
and Journey to the Savage Planet, which was a first-person game similar, is still on. They brought it back to Game Pass before this one hit, I think.
Okay. Moving on, something else we vaguely discussed earlier in the show, which is PUBG continues to get updates and releases, including a big patch with a bunch of balance changes. But the more interesting part of this update, for sure, is something is finally happening that I've been really curious about when would happen for a lot of titles, because PUBG is just one, which is out on November 13th, I think, if I read that correctly. They are dropping support for Xbox One and PS4.
Yep.
Yeah, November 13th.
It's starting to happen, and like it happened, I think we talked about it last week with the Hoyoverse game, Genshin Impact is dropping its PS4 version, never had an Xbox One version. The rumor is next year. COD is only on current gen, which also might be the time they get it on Switch 2 to make up for the lost user base. It's going to be interesting, because PUBG is almost as big as it's ever been overall, which I don't think people realize. But that audience is very heavily on PC and mobile, and it still does okay on consoles from what I can tell. But it definitely feels old, and being able to really bump up what the game can do, as well as having this weird-ass collaboration with Bugatti that they announced. It's funny, this trailer says, play free now, and then it shows PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series, and it's like, not for that much longer.
Yeah. It's with decisions like this being made, I think it makes sense. They probably see the data in terms of how many people are actually playing from those things. You know, I'm actually kind of curious, Jesse. Do you think if you have an Xbox and you have like cloud, can you play PUBG or games like that while they have an Xbox One version, but play the cloud version? I don't think you can, right?
I don't know.
I have the code base for that.
I actually don't know. I do not have an Xbox One to try it out to see if
exactly right.
Yeah, because obviously it has to be something that has all the versions.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the only versions in the cloud are the series, so it would have to be. They don't have Xbox One versions in the cloud.
Though I don't know if PUBG is cloud enabled. If it isn't, I imagine they're probably working on that to get it. So, because that would be a big, hey, your guys aren't being completely left behind. You can still play the game with this, which I've done many times. By the way, I go to a sister's place or a friend's place. I don't have an Xbox One. Pop it up, play some series games on cloud while I'm there. Don't gotta download them either. Very useful.
And nope, it just says play with Xbox One and Xbox Series. It doesn't show cloud.
Okay.
Because that's now in the playables. It'll say cloud playable.
Yeah. I just did a quick check. PUBG is still the second most game played on all of Steam in the last 30 days.
Yeah, there's over 700,000 people as its 24-hour peak. It's enormous.
It's friggin' massive. Like, it's...
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, man. PUBG's still going strong. It's going to switch over. If Genshin's switching over, if COD's switching over, this is it, I guess. 7 years later, or 6 years later, and the generation comes to a slow end.
And you can expect it even longer in future generations because the hardware is just better by default, whereas the hardware last gen sucked from the start.
Yep, exactly.
I know. I'm pretty sure NBA and those still come out on everything. Did this year's Madden still come out on everything? I think it did. Well, this is a PC version. Give me the actual regular version on the Microsoft.
I know last year's NHL didn't. Last year's NHL released only on.
EA Sports Madden 26, playable on just as Xbox Series.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're moving on slowly. I kind of felt to me like they were all waiting for GTA, but then GTA moved up. Like, okay, all right.
Yeah. And as American Fury says, Battlefield 6, of course, which could not run. I mean, Battlefield 6, I doubt can run on a Switch 2, which is a little better than last gen overall. It's a lot better in the GPU, a little better in the CPU, but it's still worse in the CPU than a Series S by a fair amount. Because like a Series S at the lowest is pulling 65 watts out of the wall, and in bigger games it's pulling 120. But the funny thing is, when people were there, there's a really good Brazilian website that just breaks down. It's just actual analytics. There's no talking. There's no opinions. And they had, God, what the hell was it? Damn it! Oh, it was neon white. Just because they could, they set up a run that was the same every time on everything, and it is shockingly. It's not shocking, but they use a really shitty power supply in the PS5 and the PS5 Pro that just wastes so much energy that they end up sucking up like 30, 40 more watts per second than the Series does, Series X.
That's crazy.
Worse and better performance.
People don't they don't understand that Series S is still pretty powerful. Just recently I was at a friend's place. We were playing some Borderlands 3 and I'm like, we can play like 4-player split screen here. They're like, no, we can't. It's Series X, but still we get it working, obviously. And I'm like, the Series S can do this too, right? And they're like, no way it can't. I'm like, it can, guys. Like, stop listening to the propaganda. It's still a pretty powerful console compared to the previous gen.
And the I think when they were showing PUBG, because PUBG is doing a tech upgrade, and so it's 1080 60, 1440 30 on the Series S, and then I think it's 1440 60 and 4K 30 on the PS5, and then it's 4K 60 and 4K 30 on the Series X, and 4K 30 and 4K 60 on the PS5 Pro. And people are like, how come the Pro is not better? It's like, it probably has better settings here and there.
Interesting.
But the Series X is overall more powerful than the PS5.
Yes.
The reality is it does not matter. Doesn't matter at all. It's not.
It
it's
really
such
doesn't.
Even if it's 10 to 20% of a difference in some games, that's not enough for anyone to notice or care in the mainstream.
Yep. Yeah, it's I forgot what I was going to say. But the Series X is indeed more powerful.
I'm going to drop this last one out, and that can be the last story we just did, because that one's really old, and I forgot. I put it in over a week ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's the news for Thursday. We will be back on Saturday with a special birthday version of the XboxEra podcast for me. Be me, Nick, and Randall Thor. Taking the place
no
of
way.
John. Yeah.
Rand's coming on this weekend?
Mm-hmm. I will double check, because I'm pretty sure Nick told me that.
Okay, make sure, because it is now out in the wild.
Because literally the second that I said John wasn't on, Rand is on this weekend. Told me tomorrow, 7:16. So, Ursel, thank you so much for joining me very late.
Not a problem. Thank you. Yeah, sorry for completely misreading time zones and being kind of last minute, but hey, it worked out for the most part. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll see you all Saturday.
Yeah, and then for this show, we will see you on August 26th. See you all. I mean, it's Gamescom week. You guys paid for us to go there. So we'll get you some, we'll call them headlines podcasts at night if we do them. But we've got to go out and network a lot. So it might not be that long or that often. But But thank you everyone so much.
Yeah.
Ursel, thank you again. And everybody. Ciao for now.
Have a good day.
Some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Fret for your figure, and fret for your latte, and fret for your lawsuit, and fret for your hairpiece, and fret for your Prozac, and fret for your pilot, and fret for your contract, and fret for your car. It's a bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits. And some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit, silly shit, stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Cause Mo's gonna fix it all soon. Mo's coming around to put it back the way it ought to be. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to